family-owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime.
The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Broadcasting live the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
And just like that, the football season is over. The Seattle Seahawks are your Super Bowl champs, 29-13 over the Patriots last night, and well, that was a rough one. That was one of those, how much do you really love football kind of games? Because boring. I let the kids stay up to watch the Bad Bunny performance. You know, my Latina children. I was like, we should watch this. And then they went to bed, and I went upstairs, and I was like, I don't know if I'm coming back down. I might just retire for the evening. Glad I didn't. Obviously, things got a little more entertaining, but not much.
Did they really?
But not much. Because I had some anytime touchdown bets that we put on.
So there we go. We got to the crux of how it got more entertaining.
Well, since there weren't any touchdowns early in the game, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal. That was interesting to see who would actually have the first touchdown. When we were leaving Potawatomi Sportsbook yesterday, Chew, after Joshy, Ben, and I did the show, Justin, who runs the sportsbook over there, was telling me he really hoped it would be a low-scoring game, not many touchdowns. And I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, that makes sense for you, because then none of the touchdown prop bets, the first, last, anytime for any player. And then for a while, it felt like that was going to be the reality. But ultimately, things did get spice up a little bit. Joshy, I know you're back there behind the glass this morning. How many bet slips did you leave with? I left with 10. I won on 2.
Well, I had about 7 bets on 1, so I only had 3 slips, but I probably had about 10 bets.
Yeah.
None of them won. They're all small wagers, though.
Yeah.
All just chunk change that you find in the seats, and you say, hey, let's get a little crazy here.
Which you did.
Sure did.
A little crazy. Like at one point, we were all rooting for whom?
Austin Hooper
To find the end zone, because it was plus 4,000 for first touchdown, plus 800 for an anytime touchdown.
We kind of figured that this would happen, though. AFC sucks. They're terrible. What a horrible football year. Sorry. Disappointing.
Just the whole year? The whole thing?
Throwing out the baby with the
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say, Joshy. Thank you. We're in lockstep.
Fun.
It was an NFC Championship game was great. A lot of those NFC games were great in the postseason.
That might have been the worst Super Bowl ever.
You know what might be interesting?
Okay, again, stop being prisoner of the moment. Would you stop?
What might be interesting is a Chewy retelling of the season as it happened and all the key details, because it feels like we've got like half information on everything. I'd love to see how things went that was not Packer related for you.
If we were to do maybe we will do power rankings tomorrow. New England's not 2, I can tell you that. That's not the second best team. They didn't play anyone all year long.
True.
And then everyone was out in the AFC.
Who is the second best team?
Rams.
Yeah.
Rams.
Guys, I was waiting for Chewy to answer the question.
He knew. It was so obvious he knew.
I wouldn't even say they're the third best team. Now you understand the firings. Like Buffalo, the door was wide open and you can't walk through it.
Well, they fired, if you ask me, they fired the wrong guy there.
You thought the GM should have been
have you looked at that roster? It ain't good.
I mean, Seattle's D, yeah, they're legit. Their offense is
But, I mean, because the Patriots' defense is legitimate.
Yeah.
It's a very good defense.
We're talking like top 6, right? 2 top, because the Seattle was 1.
So in terms of scoring, both of these teams were in the top 4 of scoring offense and defense, and that's the first time that's ever happened in Super Bowl history.
And their stats are a lot different when Milton Williams was on the field. As you could see, he made a lot of impact yesterday. Like they became people. He missed significant parts of the season, and when he played, they were significantly better. I thought they looked good yesterday. It was just sort of war on them after a while when the offense isn't doing anything.
Yeah. And
did you just rattle off scoring defense?
Yeah.
Seattle top scoring defense, New England fourth.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. They're
All
both
right,
top five defenses.
With Tucker Kraft, I'd take the Packers offense.
Okay, I'm glad that you're saying that because I want to know this. After watching the Super Bowl, how close are the Green Bay Packers? And we talked about this yesterday headed into the game. So we didn't have the data point of yesterday's Super Bowl, watching Seattle win the whole dang thing the way that they won it. How close are the Green Bay Packers? Because I said this yesterday on the show. If Micah Parsons is healthy and if Tucker Kraft is healthy, the Packers are in that Super Bowl. I think that they would have run through the NFC. I think they beat Seattle, assuming that would have been the path based on who the Packers played and how it would have gone down. I think that they are the NFC representative in that game.
I mean, forgetting about Zach Tom there, I think Zach Tom's a huge part too.
Zach Tom's injury. You know what? So should we just say healthy?
Yeah. Well, look,
a healthy Packers team.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's a huge part of the NFL. These two teams that played in the Super Bowl yesterday were among the healthiest of all the teams in the NFL. They were in the bottom 5 in terms of salary cap dollars that they had on IR. Packers were one of the highest. And that's a big part. As we talk about 17 games, last week we spent a lot of time talking about eventually adding an 18th game in the NFL. It's not just how good are you, it's how deep are you, how healthy are you. And those are the teams that are going to survive and have great seasons like the Seahawks and Patriots.
So do you agree that at 100% health, if you have all of the bodies and all of the people that were assembled for this version of the Packers, they are the NFC representative. They are in the Super Bowl. Now, I don't know if they win. If they played that Patriots team, they 100% win. And I think that's why if you're a Green Bay Packers fan this morning, there's a little bit of this road looked a little easier. This was probably the year. But you can't sit there and have regret about that.
I mean, this Seahawks team is really good. Like, that defense is
really good
electric.
defensively. They are not good offensively. Sorry. They're not.
They were a top 4 scoring offense. I think they were second scoring offense.
And Dario and I were discussing this last night because Dario was like, they turned the ball over so much in the regular season, but you know what? They didn't do a single time this year in the postseason, turn the ball over.
First team ever to do that in the postseason and win a Super Bowl.
That's crazy. Right? So, like, again, I was like, yeah, don't judge them, the current version, which is this postseason version of the Seahawks, based on what they did during the regular season. Joshy, you disagree wholeheartedly, though, about my assertion that the Green Bay Packers would be the NFC representative in the Super Bowl if, and I said yesterday, Tucker Kraft was healthy, and if Micah Parsons, but Gabe, for the sake of this conversation, I'm happy to throw Zach Tom in there as well for a little bit of more stability on that offensive line. Joshy, why did you disagree with that?
I think they're head coach away. I think the coach they have is not the guy that's going to be able to get through the grind of close games and games where it really matters, where you need your coach to be pulling the right strings and making the right decisions in crunch time. I think he was the biggest detriment, aside from the injuries, obviously, to the superstars, that held the Packers back this year. I think he let his team down more so than anybody else on the team. You could say Keyshawn Nixon, you could say Carrington Valentine, but I think the guy who has his hands on the most was the guy most responsible for the Packers falling short when they had opportunities to win games.
I would agree. I mean, just go to the Bears.
So you guys don't think they can win a Super Bowl with Matt LaFleur? Both of you are on that train.
I don't think Matt LaFleur ever wins a Super Bowl with Green Bay.
Why do you make the caveat with Green Bay? Why are you hedging that?
Because I think, much like an Andy Reid, or how we say players need a change of scenery, I think the shock of, I'm not the blank of the walk. I'm not the all-knowing, the smartest guy in the room.
One.
I just got careful there. Anytime you're using that word, you just get I get the little yips.
Is it of the rock? That's what my dad always used to say. He'd say the blank of the rock, not the walk.
It's blank of the walk.
Yeah, I thought so.
Look, my dad messing up a phrase would not be shocking.
Exclusive import of fathers.
Okay, yeah.
Common sayings. They just get them wrong.
Just ask Chewy.
I think it might be one of those cases where he realizes his deficiencies, and instead of ignoring them or pushing them off or sort of half-heartedly approaching them, he might be forced into action.
I guess I hope that the situation that he was in this year, and I know you guys are going to be like, well, why didn't he? But I would hope that this situation of the no lame duck, and are they going to bring him back, and him being on the hot seat, I guess my hope would have been that that situation would have prompted that sort of reflection, no? And look, we talked about this yesterday. I don't want to be super redundant, but I guess if you're looking at Ed Policy had the opportunity to turn the page. He had the opportunity to start fresh, bring in new blood. And he thinks that Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst are the guys who can get this team to the Super Bowl. If you believe that that is his goal, if you believe that the Packers still see themselves as a Super Bowl contending team year in and year out, because a point that Ben Brust brought up yesterday on the show was maybe that's not their metric. Maybe their measure of success is, are there butts in the seats? Are people having fun? Is there Scrooge McDuck money in the kitty? Because all of those things.
But there's always going to be butts in the seats. Like, the Packers were sold out in the 70s and 80s when they were terrible. Like, there's always going to be butts in the seats. I can't imagine that their metric isn't winning championships. And you can disagree with the logic that Ed Policy uses, but I don't think he took the job going, yeah, I just want to grow that big old pile of cash that Mark's already started. I don't think that's, again, we don't know much about Ed, right? He's talked to the media once, and then we pick up what we can the first Saturday of every month with Policy's perspective on Packers.com.
So let me go ahead and read to you for people who might have missed it this weekend, because Ed did do his first, what are we calling it? Perspective? Policy's perspective?
It's not his first one.
Sorry, you're right. It's not his first one. First Saturday of the month. There's where the first slipped in there. He says that the season didn't end the way we wanted, but the season only ends the way you want it for one team. That's the business. I'm so tired, by the way. Commentary. Pause. Commentary. I'm so tired of executives using that, by the way. Well, there's only one team that actually finishes the year. Yes, I know how it works. I spent substantial time in the weeks following the season with our football leaders, ensuring we are all aligned in purpose and communicating clearly and directly. I firmly believe we have the right people and a solid process for success. We have the distinct privilege of working for the Packers, and everyone in our organization will continue to strive tirelessly to develop and support a championship-caliber team. I know our fans are disappointed we didn't advance further in the playoffs, and I can assure you everyone inside Lambeau Field is more committed than ever to bringing a Lombardi trophy home. Over the coming days and months, we are going to do everything we can to prepare our team to compete at the highest level. That process started immediately. Let's turn the page. Basically saying that people, fans, make emotional decisions, right? Frustration, anger, disappointment, that all drives emotional decisions. But he, as president of the Packers, has to make a rational, logical, data-driven decision, and that's what he thinks he did by bringing back LaFleur and Gutekunst. Do you agree?
I agree, but I think, you're only as good as your assistants, really. And if you look at yesterday's game, I was watching the replay of it here, because there were a ton of sacks for Seattle in this game. And they broke it down. All they were doing was playing cover 7. And cover 7 is 2 deep, man under. And then they were blitzing out of that. But all their routes were 15 to 18 yards. It's kind of the same thing when Green Bay played Chicago in the playoff game. I'm like, where is your check down? They're playing man. You got to have a bailout. And even yesterday's film, that's the problem. You need someone, and it's funny because... And I've talked about this before in Super Bowl 32, right? There was a fight on the sideline. There was a fight on the sideline because Mike wanted to go scat.
Mike Holmgren.
Mike Holmgren wanted to go scat, and what that means is the back is just an automatic release. You don't have to check or anything. And in that game, Atwater, who was their safety, they blitzed. If you take the scat tag off, which Tom Lovat wanted them to do, then the back has to check safety and then release.
So are you saying that based on what you saw, the Packers are close then? Because they should duplicate that? What are you trying to say, Chew?
Saying they need better assistants. They need someone to say when LaFleur calls something, no, hold it. Okay? Enough with the deep throws down the field. You need a bailout. Okay? And then you shouldn't be attacking the safeties downfield when what were they up by?
They were up by, what was it, 21-3 at half?
Yeah.
21-3. Bleed the game to death. Just bleed it out. And win 24-21. Who gives a crap, instead of just constantly attacking down the field, giving up sacks. And that's what New England was doing. They just get impatient. And when head coaches get impatient, you need someone to dial them in. Like an Andy Reid, like a Mooch. someone that he talks to. I don't know if he has that on the staff. Like, ho, let's rethink this thing right here, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Well, but you could make the argument, Shu, that when policy had the opportunity to force certain restrictions or force certain parameters on LaFleur, and again, we don't know all of the ins and outs, all of the details of the negotiations, but couldn't he have said something along those lines? Couldn't he have implemented,
Sure.
Hey, you're a great play caller, Matt LaFleur. We really like your creativity. We think that you can take us to the next level. Where you struggle is on some of the game management stuff. So how do we split those responsibilities, right? Because you're never going to hire an offensive coordinator to call plays. That's your thing. So, you know what I'm saying? Because we were discussing that yesterday. That structure, I don't want to say problematic. That seems too extreme. That seems too hyperbolic. But it is concerning when he gets lost in the sauce of the play calling and then some of these game management decisions happen. And Joshy thinks that those are the things that are going to keep Green Bay from winning a Super Bowl with Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, but I'd rather have him keep doing those things, right? And especially when you take a look, like one of the big things that Seattle's got to do this offseason, and now they're going to be behind the 8 ball. They got to replace their offensive play caller. Clint Kubiak's gone. He's the head coch now in Las Vegas for the Raiders.
Did they make that announcement? I know it's widely speculated. It's widely assumed.
He made that announcement. He told NFL Network that after the game last night, that he is going to be the head coach of the Raiders. And we've seen teams struggle with that, replacing their play caller. Happened to the Lions this year. Happens to the Eagles just about every other year. Go to a Super Bowl, lose your play caller, and your offense goes south. So, yeah, I mean, are those things? Yeah. But in addition, though, I don't want Ed Policy inserting himself in those areas. When you start inserting yourself in those areas as the de facto owner, I feel that's when that's what dysfunctional teams do. When ownership gets way too involved.
But don't you get that feeling that the staff is like, oh, please, someone just take Steno. Please, can Seattle or the Raiders take him? But the problem with this is, what's your pool now? Most coordinator jobs have been filled.
Yeah, but you'd probably want a young guy in that role anyway.
You would hire somebody and it would be a promotion.
Relatively unknown type of guy.
On the staff?
I mean, it could be on the staff or it could be somebody else's quarterback's coach or something.
Look at Halfley. He did a Richard Mood. I think it was great. The whole Duggan thing? Nope, Duggan's coming with me. You know? LaFleur tried to outflex him and Halfley goes, oh, sorry, I'll just make him my coordinator. Now he's with me. You know what I'm saying?
Might have actually been a benefit for the Packers with the way those linebackers looked on assignments at times.
One other thing that popped from the game, and we talked about this briefly, was, John Schneider has hit on his drafts. And consistently.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, you're saying it's an understatement?
That's an understatement.
His last 5 first-round picks are good.
Electric factory
starters.
And we talk a lot about how good is Brian Gutekunst at drafting, especially when you have a Packers team, Packers organization that prides itself on draft and develop. But if I'm making the argument that I think the Packers would have been the NFC representative if Micah Parsons were healthy and Tucker Kraft were healthy, and who was the other one that you mentioned?
Zach Tom.
Zach Tom were also healthy. For some reason, I wanted to say Sean Ryan, and I knew that was wrong. Then aren't I also giving credit to Brian Gutekunst for collecting the ingredients that would have made us a 5-star meal?
Yeah, look, but it helps, especially now. We're going to start to see this with the Packers because he's had a couple of pretty good draft classes. Now, he hasn't hit, I think, to the extent, again, that when you take a look at Seattle, I mean, even their second-round pick this year, Nick Eamon-Wari was a finalist for Defensive, Rookie of the Year. Byron Murphy, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Like, these are guys that are studs, and we're going to have to see, okay, how can you backfill? Because some of the good draft classes that Gutekunst has had, a lot of those guys could be leaving. Guys like Sean Ryan, guys like Romeo Doubs. We're going to see those guys go out the door. Okay, how can we backfill at those positions? And because now you also have limited resources. You're not going to be able to dip in free agency and, I missed on the safety. Okay, let's just go out and get, the best young safety on the market and get an all-pro at that spot. We haven't been able to hit on running back. Okay, we're going to go out and get Josh Jacobs, right? Like, it's going to be limited. Maybe they can go out and get one kind of stud-ish type of guy, depending upon what they do with the rest of the roster. But the draft, I feel this year is more important because you've got some big money contracts that you're not going to be getting rid of. Jordan Love, Zach Tom, Micah Parsons. Like, those are on the books. Those guys ain't going anywhere. But now you have to use the draft to backfill this roster with some of those pieces you might lose.
800-990-3776. Your reaction this morning. To the Packers not being in the Super Bowl, how close are they? Joshy says Matt LaFleur is going to be the ingredient, the element that keeps them from winning a Super Bowl. No, nothing Jon Snow weighing in, saying to all the people who would say, who would you hire if you fired Matt LaFleur? Both of those coaches last night were available in the last 2 years. Lots of reaction rolling in on the Carbless Talk and text line as well. If Matt LaFleur struggles with game management, he has no business being an NFL head coach. This team will never win a Super Bowl if he is the head coach. That from Jeff in the 414, seeing a lot of reaction.
In fairness, struggling with game management seems like a prerequisite to be an NFL head coach. A lot of these guys across the league, even really good ones, struggle with it.
To Joshy's point, I joked with my brothers last night when it was 29-13 with 3 minutes to go that if LaFleur were coaching, he'd find a way to blow it. That from Tim in the 414. Seems to be a popular sentiment this morning, Joshy. You're an influencer. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Roll on right after this.
A weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tune into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Marcus and his son Chris, a 1995 UCLA hoops champ himself, talk about everything happening in the Bucks world and are joined by some of the biggest names in basketball. Plus, they answer some of your questions too. Stay on the beat of the Bucks. Find Here District now, bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Seeing some delays on 94 westbound in Waukesha County. 94 westbound at Barker Road, the left shoulder is closed due to a crash there. Also some disabled vehicles across the system, but those don't seem to be causing too much in the way of delays. Volume is increasing for your morning commute. Taking a look at your storm team forecast for today, mostly cloudy, a high of 35. Tonight, slight chance of some freezing drizzle to the north, mostly cloudy and a low of 30. On Tuesday, partly cloudy and mild, a high of 38 degrees. Wednesday, mostly sunny, high 32. And on Thursday, mostly cloudy with a high of 32 degrees. It's brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. Easy and affordable apparel personalization with no minimums and fast turnaround for all your printing needs. BigFrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Steph Graham on 94.5 ESPN.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
I'm going to tell you this, there will be more scrutiny, so I think he better get off to a fast start.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Because I can already picture whomever we play right out of the gates. I got a hunch the old Fire Gannon hashtags are going to be warmed up and ready to go if things don't start well. He is not going to have a ton of built-in grace at that position.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
40,000 people. Let that number sink in for a second. That's not a crowd, that's a small city. But they chose relief without surgery. 40,000 people who said stop before replacing their knee or hip. There has to be another way. And they found that at QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Brad Nortman. It's those 40,000 patients who thought that they were out of options and surgery was the only answer. But today, they're moving better, hurting less, and getting their lives back thanks to QC Kinetics and their advanced regenerative treatments. The truth is, surgery isn't always the answer. QC Kinetics and Dr. Ashley Caravelli is right here in Milwaukee, using safe, natural treatments backed by real science. Treatments that activate your body's natural healing powers. Safe, natural, and non-surgical. And this is critical. The sooner you start, the faster the inflammation will ease. So it's important to get started now. 40,000 people can't be wrong. Before you say yes to surgery, call QC Kinetics for your free consultation. Call now at 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Did Did you know Professional Construction Inc. has an in-house team of interior designers? We're excited to bring our expertise to you with our brand new virtual interior design program. Maybe you're not ready for a full construction project, but you are ready to refresh that outdated room. Our PCI design team creates stunning photorealistic renderings, a mood board, and a curated shopping list, all delivered to you in just days.
For all your construction and design needs,
visit professionalconstructioninc.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and if you're serious about getting more active this year, listen up. The Pickler in Menominee Falls is indoor pickleball, and it's for everybody, whether you're brand new or just trying to move more. Right now, they're offering free learn-to-play clinics every Monday and Saturday at noon. No experience, no gear. They'll teach you everything. So stop talking about your New Year's resolutions and go do something about it. Stop in at The Pickler in Menominee Falls or call the club for more details.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
So you mentioned Super Bowls and parties and how they don't go hand in hand, which again is an absurd comment by you two, but it's just one of many on the show.
Dumber thing that Chewy has said this morning. Super Bowls and parties don't go hand in hand, or cheddar is not a top 10 cheese.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, reflecting on the Super Bowl from last night. We all watched as Seattle won 29-13. We talked in the days leading up to the Super Bowl about the connections to Green Bay, John Snyder, Elliott Wolf, etc. Obviously, everybody's familiar with Sam Darnold's journey. So watching Seattle win that Super Bowl, finishing the season 14-3, does it make you feel some kind of way, Packers fans? Do you feel more frustrated or more hopeful? Because I said headed into it and not even knowing how the game would shake out, right? We were pretty torn between, is this going to be a blowout win by Seattle, or is this going to be a close game that Vrabel and company sort of figure out how to maintain some connection, some closeness, and then it's sort of a win on a field goal in a low-scoring game late? It was pretty much a blowout, right? I mean, Seattle was well in control. Their defense obviously just crushing, stymieing Drake May and company. So do you feel more frustrated or more hopeful when you think about the 2026-2027 Green Bay Packers? A lot of unknowns, Gabe, because, of course, we will have the draft. No first-round draft pick, as we have discussed. Do you feel more hopeful about Green Bay's chances to be in the Super Bowl next year? Everybody's talking about how it's going to be on Valentine's Day. Your quarterback's name is Love. Look at all that symmetry. Look at all of that. It's meant to be showing up.
Have we started the petition to get Toyotathon to go through Valentine's Day?
Extended.
Stretch it out.
Extended,
Let's just have it go through Valentine's Day next year, just to be safe. Just to be safe, Chew. Every little bit doesn't hurt.
But we had that this year because Brett and Aaron won their Super Bowls at the same age, and they ran the comparisons to Love, and it didn't happen. So I guess I'm optimistic, but it's like if they don't stay healthy in certain areas, probably like everyone else in the league, then they've got no shot.
Yeah, look, I feel optimistic because both of these teams, we would have sat here last year if, out in Seattle or out in Boston, those stations have been like, well, I don't know if these teams are going to be in the Super Bowl. They were 60-1. Both of these teams were 60-1 at the beginning of the season to go to the Super Bowl. And the Packers are not that. The Packers right now, I believe, are plus 1,500 to 1,400 plus 1,400 to make the Super Bowl. So their odds are a lot less than that. They're one of the favorites. They're one of the top 5-6 teams right now, and part of that is because the Packers and the sports books want to protect themselves against a public team like the Packers, but they're also up there because they do have enough talent. They've got a really good quarterback. They've got a stud on the other side of the football. Yes, you have to fill in the rest of that around it. What stood out most to me about these teams, particularly their defenses, they were great teams, right? So you have to fill out some of that depth right now and not just rely on those two studs. But I think they're closer than maybe we thought because of the injuries. And they weren't that complete team going into the postseason. And if they don't have those injuries next year, they're going to be, I think, champions of the NFC North, and you're going to love the chance that they're going to have. But if they suffer some of those injuries, or if they have a tough schedule early, Chew, when some of these guys might be out,
Yeah.
that could be tough as well.
I mean, look at Detroit. Detroit was probably the favorite or a top 3 to win the Super Bowl this year. They didn't even make the playoffs.
Correct.
So there is that out there.
Mm-hmm. And maybe that's it with the Packers replacing the defensive coordinator, Chew, right? We've seen those teams that have struggled by replacing coordinators. Now, I think it's tougher to replace the offensive coordinator than the defensive coordinator, because I think if you've got the athletes, you've got studs on the defensive side of the football, it's more about them just kind of going out and making those plays. But they still have work to do along the defensive front and the cornerback room. There's work to be done for Brian Gutekunst and company.
How close do you think the Green Bay Packers are to where Seattle was last night in the Super Bowl, winning a Super Bowl, Sam Darnold hoisting the Lombardi? Lots of reaction rolling in on the Carbless Talk and Text line. Let's start with Don, who says the LaFleur strategy is, if I keep calling the same plays, i.e. jet sweep, it will eventually work. Offensive mind or paralyzed mind, more of the same equals insanity. That from Don. And then Jim says it's totally unfair to say that Matt LaFleur will never win a Super Bowl. Given a relatively healthy roster and a very good defense, he will shine. He has had a good defense, not a very good defense. Jim weighing in saying, I don't feel as bad as Vikings fans feel this morning, wishing they would have stuck with Sam Darnold. So I have that, which makes sense because I do think that, it's all relative, of course.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also, again, it's not just about what the Packers do. Like, this division can be tougher. If the Vikings go out and get a competent quarterback, this division is going to be that much tougher. If the Lions hire at their offensive coordinator position ends up being better, it's a lot tougher division than it was a year ago. So I think that all of those things all factor into how you feel about the Packers going forward. Because they played better in the division this year, but this division could be like the NFC West, one of the tougher ones in all of football next year, if some of these hires and some of these teams do the right things this offseason.
And are the Bears legit? How big of a step? Do they follow it up? Or do they go the other way? I don't know. It's not going to get any easier, but you can see a path there. Let me tell you what, winning a Super Bowl, it's hard. It's hard because luck's involved.
Mm-hmm.
Luck plays a big part of it, and you can't control luck. So, I mean, they got
information I wish I would have had yesterday headed into the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Chew. These two coaches are light years ahead of Matt LaFleur, says Jerry in Sun Prairie. Joshy's right. Matt LaFleur doesn't have what it takes to take this team to the Super Bowl.
It does seem to me that, at what point have we seen enough from Matt LaFleur? No one's debating what they think of the roster. Obviously, 5th best Super Bowl odds is a good indicator of where we think this team is overall. But when they consistently are a 7th seed, when they consistently are losing games you think they probably should have a better chance of, we can make all the excuses we want. And yes, the injuries were a real problem. But you had Chicago on the ropes. Win one more game, and now we're talking, hey, what ends up happening? Maybe you do have a game that goes your way. Maybe Sam Darnold does see ghosts again and plays poorly. Knocking yourself out, not giving your team the best opportunity, to me is the team's biggest issue. You had a quarterback who was playing like one of the best quarterbacks in all the league. That's the thing we all know and brings you through. And yeah, the defense had its issues. But what happened in that second half? Where did things fall apart? Why couldn't you score any more points? Where did all of that fall apart, and where did Matt LaFleur lack?
So your position is Matt LaFleur is just going to run it back and not do any self-scouting or try to improve this offseason. That's the position you're holding?
I think he will self-scout, and he'll come with the wrong answers because he's done that many times before. He'll go into the books, he'll grind the tape, and he'll say, I got it, and it'll be, well, actually I don't. And then we'll fall back into our tendencies as the season goes on because these things are the things that have worked for us throughout the course of our time here. These are the things that are going to get us from point A to point B. And then you fall short at point A, point 6, and almost there.
This is where I think, again, having a healthy team, there's no excuse for losing that game. I'm with you there, Joshy. But if you've got Tucker Kraft, if Matthew Golden takes a step forward, if that offensive line is healthy, when games get tight like that, who do you rely upon? Your studs. And when you kind of just have some nice players, it's tough to kind of rely on, I'm going to be able to dial up this play, and I know that this guy's going to come through for me because they've kind of been inconsistent. The offensive line was very inconsistent. So I think with a healthier team, Matt LaFleur is going to have some better answers. Like Tucker Kraft plays that game, they ain't losing to the Bears.
But they have to get, like Doubs, there were reports that there's a chance that they may bring him back. They're negotiating with him. Doubs is a good player, but he's got to get out of the way. I'm sorry. We had a little sprinkling of in the Chicago game of what golden can be. You got to give him reps. You got to get him on there. There's too many people in the way, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look,
it stunts his because let's say Doubs does come back, then what's the rotation again next year?
Me gouging my eyes out.
So you're talking like about addition by subtraction, right?
Yeah.
You're saying sort of getting rid of Doubs opens up a lane for Matthew Golden to sort of step in, develop a little bit quicker, because right now there's that log jam that we have talked about. And at times, log jam has been, the narrative has been, how great is it to have all of these weapons? But I got to say, guys, when I do a sim in my brain of Seattle, the Seattle that I saw last night, and the Packers at their best, God, if it doesn't feel like the Packers could win that game.
Oh, yeah.
Man, the sim in my brain has them getting smoked and having no answers on offense. That's the sim in my brain.
Wait, who? Oh, the Packers having no answers on offense?
Yeah.
So you're talking about with a healthy Tucker Kraft, a healthy Christian Watson, a healthy Jaden Reed, a healthy
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
That defensive front, what are they going to do with those interior rushers? Who the hell is stopping those guys?
I mean, this Chewy, and this is something you harped on all year. I think the offensive line is a bigger need because we want to focus on, defensive tackles. Mm-hmm. Okay, who else is going to rush the passer? What about the cornerbacks? Oh, man, we might lose Quay Walker. Like, a lot of the focus right now, and understandably so, is on the defense. Figuring out that offensive line next year could be the biggest key to the Packers' success because they just plummeted in PFF team rankings. Yeah.
Because they got cute.
And to Josh's point, like, if you had the 2024 offensive line.
Feel way better.
Versus this year's offensive line, you feel better against a front like the Seattle Seahawks have. So again, they're going to let Rashid walk. I feel very confident in that Walker's not going to be at left tackle. They're going to plug in Morgan. But if you decide to just give yourself a bigger headache and not plug Sean Ryan in at whatever that contract cost is, like they're talking about Romeo Doubs. Like Romeo's at best, Romeo's going to cost around $10 million more next year than he did this year. He was $3.5 million. You're probably looking at a $13 million contract somewhere in the neighborhood of what Christian Watson signed if you bring him back. Why not take some of that money? I don't know, $5 million. You throw $5 million per year at Sean Ryan to be your starting center who performed well down the stretch. Like, I just don't want to have to try to figure out who's going to play center and then who's going to be your depth along the offensive line, because trying to figure out what that line depth is going to look like is a huge part of next year.
Well, and I said to Joshy yesterday when we were sitting at Potawatomi, if there was a bet that I could make of will the Packers draft an offensive lineman, I would hammer that all day, every day. Because, yes, and Joshy goes, they'll probably draft 2.
I'd take the over on plus odds of 2.5.
Yep.
Like they might just throw everything they got at it and then look at defensive tackle and cornerback.
If you let Sean Ryan walk, how do you feel good about anybody other than the 4? I mean, and you probably don't even feel great about some of the 4 starting offensive linemen that we would be slating in there.
I wouldn't be shocked to see an investment come in free agency at one of those positions and just say, we're going to shore this up and we're going to make sure this is better. And like, who's it? Linderbaum from the Ravens. He's a free agent. Like if they just decide we're taking this guy, he's at a good age and we're done with it. He's there. That to me would make a lot of sense.
I don't think they can't afford him. He's too good.
Reaction continues to roll in, guys, on the YouTube stream this morning. Bill saying the Packers are nowhere near a Super Bowl. Freddie keeps reminding us that they ended the season on a 5-game losing streak. And I want to remind everybody the Sims that we are running are a healthy Micah Parsons, a healthy Tucker Kraft, a healthy Zach Tom, if you have a healthy roster, how does this team stack up? And I'm using Seattle, this NFC Championship game, this Packers versus Seattle. Do you see the Packers winning against what you saw from Seattle last night? Joshy is right. Their defense was stifling. I still think the Packers have enough weapons to go out there, move the chains, and win that game against Seattle, which is why I say they are in the Super Bowl if they have a healthy roster. Keep getting us your reaction this morning, guys, because it is interesting to think about. And yes, you have to improve the offensive line. You have to protect Jordan Love. You have to give him an opportunity, because folks are weighing in saying that Jordan Love, I think it was Jalen who said that Jordan Love is better than the two quarterbacks that were in the Super Bowl last night.
Yeah, I feel good about that.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them should have been the MVP, but he had a terrible postseason. Man. Would you argue Drake May had a better season than Jordan Love?
No.
Or the vice versa?
Drake May had, statistically, Drake May had a better season than Jordan Love. Do I think Jordan Love's a better player? Yes, I do.
Yeah, and we're not talking about who would win the MVP. Although I do think that if the Packers are in the NFC Championship game, Jordan Love is certainly a contender for the NFL MVP.
Yeah, because then the season closes differently, and you're not on that 5-game losing. Because he was, third in MVP odds going into that Broncos game?
I believe so. In and around.
Yeah, he was in the top 5.
Around,
he was in the top 5 for sure.
Yeah, but he also had the easiest schedule in the league.
Oh, Drake May did, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's a big difference.
Yeah, so. And that's the next step for him.
They have the pieces. They have
They have a good amount of pieces. They have a good amount of pieces, Chew. They have to fill in. They have to fill in the blanks, and they've got to have a really good draft. And the good news is, Goody's been finding decent players in the draft over the last handful of years.
But he lets them go.
Who's the biggest one you regret letting go right now?
I'm telling you. Well,
is it Josh Myers?
No, Rasheed Walker. How excited was he last night with the play of the left tackle for New England?
I think he's
like, ooh,
yeah, but that guy's a rookie, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
the guy who we said gave up 14 pressures, which was
Will Campbell,
which was a record for the season, right?
Most pressures given up by anybody else.
And Gabe goes, and you did it with everybody watching.
It's tough for that one to happen. It couldn't happen, at a noon game as they're playing the Dolphins in the middle of October. No, it happened in the Super Bowl.
He
with 100 million people watching.
Keyshawn Nixon refused to talk to any of the media after the game. After single-handedly blowing up.
My hamstring would have been hurting after 8. After 8 pressures, I'd be like, oh, this sucker's tight. Start tapping the left arm. Let's go to the bullpen.
Let me tell you about our good friends at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, because, look, especially after this brutal winter, our homes need to be ready for just about anything here in the state of Wisconsin, and that's year-round as well. So that's why Pella focuses on quality and durability in everything that they do. Visit Pella at the Nary Spring Home Improvement Show, February 13th through the 15th at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Book an in-home consultation and at the show, receive a free Design Works rendering. And don't miss out, 0% financing for up to 4 years. It ends 2/28/26. I had that come into my home last year, and honestly, I used to walk by our front door. It's right by the stairs for us to go upstairs, and you'd always feel a little draft last year. Don't have that problem this year with the brand new door that we have from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. So book your in-home consultation at the Nary Spring Home Improvement Show or visit PellaWI.com today.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Things are looking pretty good across the system at the moment. No major incidents to report. A few disabled vehicles sprinkled across the system, but travel times are looking pretty normal as volume is increasing. We are starting to see a little bit of increase in volume on 94 throughout the stadium interchange at that construction area, but so far things are looking pretty good. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. John Neal and his team know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. Make this Valentine's Day special. Shop local and trust Welke's Milwaukee Florist. Go to welkes.com. That's WELKES.com. Your Storm Team forecast for today, mostly cloudy, a high of 35 degrees. Tonight, slight chance of freezing drizzle to the north, mostly cloudy and a low of 30. Tuesday, partly cloudy and mild and a high of 38 degrees, and on Wednesday, mostly sunny and a high of 32. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Steph Graham on 94.5 ESPN.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the fourth quarter and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Out on the course, they're the PGA Tour's best players. But in the arena, they're prime time. And Season 2 of TGL presented by SoFi is back with lights, cameras, action. We're talking big moments, big personalities, big names in the stands, all on the big screen. Big-time matchups with shot clocks, hammer drops, timeouts, overtime, and playoffs. It's city versus city, squad versus squad. The sport just hits different under the lights. It's TGL presented by SoFi. Keep up. It's golf. Tune into every match. Only on ESPN.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the fourth quarter and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Out on the course, they're the PGA Tour's best players. But in the arena, they're prime time. And Season 2 of TGL presented by SoFi is back with lights, cameras, action. We're talking big moments, big personalities, big names in the stands, all on the big screen. Big-time matchups with shot clocks, hammer drops, timeouts, overtime, and playoffs. It's city versus city, squad versus squad. The sport just hits different under the lights. It's TGL presented by SoFi. Keep up. It's golf. Tune into every match. Only on ESPN.
This Valentine's month, Milwaukee Weight Loss is sharing the love with $300 off during our Valentine's sale. Now through February 28th only. It's the perfect time to fall in love with the result-getting Milwaukee Weight Loss program. We know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no counting points or calories, no drugs, no surgery, and no injections with a risk of serious side effects. Whether you want to look great for Valentine's Day, an upcoming event, or just for you, you can start losing those unwanted pounds right now. No more losing weight and gaining it back. This program helps you keep the weight off for good. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation today.
Josh DiMaggio here, and I have already lost 15 pounds since I started this journey in mid-January, and now it's your time to show yourself some love with $300 off. But hurry, this Valentine's sale ends February 28th. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Call 262-235-3980 now for your free consultation. That's 262-235-3980 or visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary. You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He hates the ending of all comedies. Apparently doesn't like happy endings.
I love happy endings. Don't take it that far.
Muy bueno. Maybe that's a vote for Groundhog Day for you.
On 94.5 ESPN.
For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. Wouldn't you know it, guys? Last week, our garage door busted. No lie. And if you find yourself in that situation where a cable snaps like we did, you should call my friends at Geist. Brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield. Don't think twice. Call Geist, GEIS doors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. Chewy brought this up earlier this morning, the Romeo Doubs situation. I believe it is Jeremy Fowler who had a report this weekend talking about Romeo Doubs and what the Packers may try to do with the free agent receiver. The most hilarious part of it was how they kind of coupled Romeo Doubs and tight end Tucker Kraft together. And I'm thinking, these guys are not on the same playing field right now, guys, like when it comes to what the Packers are going to do or how the Packers view these two. But Chew, what is your solution for Romeo Doubs? Because Jeremy Fowler's report is that the Packers may try to re-sign the free agent receiver.
Let him go. Let him walk. I mean, hey, thanks for your service. You were great here in Green Bay. We appreciate it, but we have younger players that we want to develop. So move them on. Look, next year I'm fine with Watson, Reed, Golden, and who am I missing?
Wicks.
And Wicks. That's a pretty good 4. It's not a great 4. You know, there's no top 10s in there or top 5s, but as a group, you should be able to put a package together to utilize, you know, all 3 of them coupled with Tucker Kraft and Josh Jacobs in the backfield. That's a top 10 offense.
Yeah, death, taxes, and Packers fans reminding us about Jackson Smith in Jigba versus Lucas Van Ness. I saw that a lot last night on the old social media machine. Gabe, do you agree that they should let Romeo Doubs go?
Yeah, because, again, even a bargain, his price is going up. And you're going to be paying more for him next year than you were this past season. So it's just, for me, it's a situation where that's a position nobody's talking about upgrading. Everybody's fine with what the Green Bay Packers have at wide receivers. And, again, when you're investing that much in the top end of your roster, you've got to be more selective about who you're bringing back, who you're not bringing back. And unfortunately for Rome, they invested in that position. Not just with Matthew Golden. They took Savion Williams in the 3rd round. They invested in the wide receiver position in preparation for Romeo Doubs leaving. And the money that you are going to have to spend in free agency or even on your own guys, it's going to be precious. You're going to have to be smart with it. So making sure you get a good deal for Tucker Kraft done this offseason. Seeing what you have left over, if you can bring in a cornerback, a defensive tackle, an offensive lineman. Like, those are way higher on the priority list of bringing back Romeo Doubs. It just doesn't make sense to me. Again, his production was good, and he had a great playoff game, but it's not like he had 1,200 yards this past season. Like, oh, man, you got to re-sign this guy. The production he had, ultimately, I think is replaceable.
Because, like Gabe said, you take that $10 million, and maybe that allows you to keep in Ngabare, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if Rashawn Gary isn't gone, there's people are gonna.
Chewy, I can't imagine. Again, there's just too much money there. If he comes back, it's on such a dramatically reduced number that they're still saving a ton of money, and they just have him for a depth piece.
All right, so Gabe, if he goes like we anticipate, then don't you have to bring back Ngabare? You're going to go into next season with just Lucas Van Ness, who you still have question marks. I mean, he's been slowly getting better. This past year, he wasn't on the field enough, but...
I mean, you still have, Brenton Cox is somebody they kind of like who didn't play a ton this last year because of injury. And last year, Chew, they spent a 4th-round pick on Burns.
Yeah, no, I know.
They spent a 5th-round pick on Colin Oliver. These are guys that are going to have to step up. And, hey, something's expected of you. You now have to contribute to this team.
So do we imagine, Chewy, that this will go the way that some of these other negotiations have gone, which is because the report from Jeremy Fowler says that the Packers are basically going to engage in conversation. Right? It doesn't say that they are going to bring him back. It just says that they're open to a conversation about it. Do you think that they will ask him to take some sort of hometown discount, some sort of, hey, this is what we can afford in order to supplement, in order to fund other areas on this roster, and hope that maybe Romeo Doubs just wants to be a part of Green Bay so badly that he agrees to that? Is that what you think the Packers will do? If they are going to... No.
I'll think they do what they always do, like go get an offer, bring it back to us, and we'll let you know. Right? I mean, the only chance he has of coming back is if people view him as a 3 and they want to pay him $6 million, right? If teams value him as a 2, you're not matching the money.
I legitimately cannot find a number where I would be like, yeah, that's a good idea to bring him back.
4?
Because he is a blocker of Matthew Golden, who I think has a higher ceiling.
Yeah.
He is the piece holding back the first-round investment. So even if he's unbelievably cheap, I'm still going, well, is he taking snaps from Golden? Or is he going to be happy taking a backseat to both him and Christian Watson and Jaden Reed? Because I don't see that happening.
Just so you know, when you said he's a blocker to Matthew Golden, I pictured him blocking for Matthew Golden.
I went there too.
Okay, thank you. I'm so glad that it wasn't just my brain.
Tremendous blocker. He's Alan Lazard.
Envision him playing cornerback about Matthew Golden and trying to catch. Romeo Doubs is going to be in front of him, and then the defense. That's what's stopping Matthew Golden. It just doesn't make sense to me. I can't fathom it.
Yeah, because we have our security blanket, Bo Melton.
I thought you were going to say Tucker Kraft.
We always got that blanket.
Chewy, you have said also in the past that they should have traded Romeo Doubs, that they should have at least gotten something for him. So again, we've passed that point. That's not an option anymore. But it does seem like if you're going to be willing to let him walk, maybe Chewy's right. They should have just dealt him during the season.
If that position would have been healthy around the trade deadline,
yeah, like Reed.
I think they would have explored it, but they were just too beat up. And it didn't make sense. Him. Shockingly enough.
Strangely. Publicly called him out.
Rewriting history on the Romeo Doubs, Aaron Rodgers chapter. Very, very strange.
But we remember, we were there. We're old enough to remember when Aaron Rodgers called out Romeo Doubs in public for that was his work ethic, right? Was it like, no, Romeo Doubs said something like, if he ever talked to me or something like that.
That was in the post, but he did imply during the season some of these young guys don't know how to do the right things. They aren't in they're not around enough, which there was only 2 young guys on the team. So
Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs.
Oh, and I also thought there was that one guy that he got rid of. Help me out, kid from Clemson.
Oh, yeah.
Amari.
Clemson.
Yeah.
Clemson.
Well,
he's a punt returner.
I mean, he wasn't even that. In fairness to Aaron,
Rodgers was right.
He was right.
He wasn't even a punt returner. No, Rodgers was wrong. He wasn't even a punt returner.
Well, he was factually a punt returner. He just wasn't good at it, nor should he have been the punt returner.
Ryan from Aguanago weighing in saying the Packers receivers are like borscht. It's pretty good. It's not great.
Makes Chewy's mouth water.
Huh? I just had some last week.
Good Lord. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to this morning, including Giannis's new adventure.
Which one?
We'll get into that right after this.
At Ewald Automotive Group, they believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of lower payments. That's why they're giving you $1,500 over book value for your trade. Get into a new vehicle with payments under $250 a month. Over 1,400 vehicles backed by their low price guarantee. $1,500 more for your trade. Payments starting under $250. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of lower payments. Based on Kelly Rubik, fair trade value supplies to 2013. Fair trade value applies to 2013 or newer model years. It all starts, as they always make it easy, ewaldauto.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN. Break down all the lines, the locks, and the long shots with a weekly wager.
Yes, we know you made it this far, but you lost the way we told you have to stop losing.
With Josh DiMaggio and Ben Brust.
You were a better team, you had a big lead, and then you did what we saw you do 3 weeks previous?
Tune in Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
All Brewers tickets for the 2026 season are on sale Thursday, February 12th. This year, it all kicks off at our house with opening day at home, followed up with a schedule that's absolutely loaded. Throw in the same flair for the dramatic thrills on any given night. Plus Brewers giveaways you won't forget. And you've got a season you're going to have to see to believe. Don't miss a second of Brewers action this year. The crew is back for more starting February 12th at Brewers.com.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
When storms hit or accidents happen, it's not just about property, it's about people. I'm Mandy Grimal-Lococo with Grimal and Associates Insurance. We help families bundle home, auto, and life coverage so you're never facing life's what-ifs alone. With the heavy rains we've seen in Milwaukee, we'll review your policy to be sure water backup, sump pump failures, and flood risks don't drain your wallet. Your home is more than walls and a roof, it's where life happens. At Grimal and Associates Insurance in Shorewood, we're here to protect your home, your family, and your peace of mind. Call us today at 414-332-0838.
Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian, screaming Sicilian, more.
Screaming Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
The other side of the world, and I'll let you know if I want to come back and coach your little game.
Jay Peterman.
Ian Rappaport tweeting yesterday, and I thought this was interesting. The Broncos, the last 2 weeks.
Are they beefing again?
You guys done?
I got more. On 94.5 ESPN.
It's a weird day here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy when I'm having Gabe Neitzel explain the pop culture references to me. But during the break, Gabe was explaining to me Jordan Hudson's T-shirt. Did you guys see this over the weekend, Chew? Did you see? I guess Joshy saw it.
Couldn't even tell you who Jordan Hudson is.
Okay, I think Chewy.
If you had to guess who Jordan Hudson is, what would be your guess?
Probably the person who found the Hudson River, I guess.
Wow, nailed it.
Chewy was right.
Turns out she's still alive.
No, Chewy. Jordan
it's a
Hudson.
girl?
Yeah, Jordan Hudson is Bill Belichick's girlfriend.
Oh, that's right.
Did you hear what she did over the weekend? You know, Duke was playing North Carolina. Belichick, of course, is the head football coach at North Carolina.
Shout out Milwaukee kid Seth Trimble hit the game winner in that
game.
Did
he? Congratulations to him. So Jordan showed up with Bill Belichick wearing a T-shirt. Gabe, what was it?
Was it the Orchids of Asia?
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
Orchids of Asia, which was the...
Hold on. Don't tell. Orchids of Asia Day Spa is what her T-shirt was, Chew.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have any idea what that reference is?
I don't think we should make him guess.
Was there a tie to Kraft?
There it is! Look at our guy!
Josh, were you nervous?
Yes.
I saw him wiping beads of sweat off his forehead. So she wore a T-shirt advertising, I don't know if it was advertising, it was more of trolling, the spa that Robert Kraft frequented.
Of all the things we should be trolling and not trolling, is things like that kosher?
Again, I was unfamiliar. Gabe was filling me in during the break.
Yeah.
That's incredibly savage. And I said to Gabe Chew, I said, are they beefing again? What would even prompt that?
If they weren't, they are now.
For Mr. Don't Be a Distraction, well, having that on the side, that's a bit of a distraction.
Yeah, but the season's not till the fall, Joshy.
Whose idea you think it was? Belichick's or?
Oh, it's hers. She's incredibly online. Incredibly. If you talk about her, she sees it.
Very petty, it appears.
All right. So
she wasn't even around for
Hold on.
Was she alive?
What's Kraft's retort? What T-shirt should he wear?
He just stands on his
A
billions.
daycare?
Yeah.
Should it be like whatever
It'd be
daycare?
Like, no, Belichick's daycare, something like that. Like
That would
some
be a good
reference
call.
to Bill's daycare.
Kraft should just wear the T-shirt, the Instagram photo where he's holding her up in the air with his legs.
Oh, and she's a mermaid?
Yes. That's it. That's all you have to do. Fight over.
Yep.
Look at you.
Joshy did it. You nailed the retort, Joshy. For somebody who is not vindictive, for somebody who gives people the benefit of the doubt, is mostly a good person, you come up with this stuff real fast.
Well, yeah. I've got a long history of paying attention to what's going on with old Billy Boy.
Why did it go so far south? Ego?
Oh,
I mean, how did this thing start?
Ding, ding, ding.
Is that how it started?
Who gets the most credit?
Yeah.
No, I want
literally
credit.
started over who gets the most credit for winning Super Bowls.
Wow.
And now they both don't go into the Hall of Fame together.
So good.
Well, they'll both get in. It's just not now.
Didn't get to go in together this year.
Maybe they don't want to go together. You ever think about that? Maybe I don't want to go with you.
I hope they do.
I don't think they're going to have a choice.
It's like mutually assured destruction. It's so unnecessary.
I mean, when they go in, if they go in together, it's going to be the first time in forever that the Hall of Fame ceremony is must-see TV.
Yeah.
Yes.
See what kind of shots people are taking at each other during Hall of Fame speeches.
Giannis's new adventure, next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Beware if you are on the south side traveling into downtown this morning. 4394 northbound, about a mile beyond Howard Avenue. Most of the lanes are closed due to a crash. It does look like they are squeaking one lane of traffic through there, but definitely some major slowdowns there. Avoid that area if you can. Otherwise, across the system, 43 southbound Brown Deer Road to downtown is going to be a few extra minutes. Also seeing some slowdowns on 94 eastbound, the zoo into downtown. A little bit slow there as you go through that construction in the stadium interchange. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. Make this Valentine's Day special. Shop local and trust Welke's Milwaukee Florist. Go to welkes.com. That's WELKES.com. Your Storm Team forecast today, mostly cloudy and a high of 35. Tonight, slight chance of some freezing drizzle, a low of 30. On Tuesday, partly cloudy and mild, a high of 38. And Wednesday, mostly sunny, high 32 degrees. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Steph Graham on 94.5 ESPN.
Navigating today's complex market takes more than a bank. It takes a strategic partner. Fifth Third Bank helps businesses manage risk and solve financial challenges with industry-specific expertise and local decision-making. With 167 years of experience and nearly 20 years serving Milwaukee, Fifth Third delivers solutions like commercial payments, capital structure optimization, and risk mitigation. Big enough for sophisticated solutions, local enough to make decisions that matter. Connect with the Fifth Third Milwaukee team today. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
The trade deadline in the NBA came and went, and Giannis Antetokounmpo is still a member of your Milwaukee Bucks. And that, my friends, is a good thing, I think. Most people think. I think. And then some news came out this weekend that Giannis Antetokounmpo did, in fact, have a new team. Not a new NBA team, of course. Just a new team. I barely know what Kalshi is. Maybe that makes me an old head. Maybe that makes me a boomer at this point. But Kalshi is an unregulated gambling / insider trading platform. It's basically apparently where you can bet on anything, right? It doesn't have to be regulated by Potawatomi Sportsbook or BetMGM or FanDuel or any of those DraftKings, whatever they are. From what I see, it's will it be sunny today in Milwaukee? You can make it,
it's a prediction market, and I do want to carefully toe the line of it's not just for insider trading, but it sure does happen a lot where people with knowledge can place huge sums of monies on predictions. The difference between that and a standard gambling is this is peer-to-peer. So if you're saying yes on something, will Giannis be traded, somebody has to take the other end of no. So there's no house here. The house is the people using it. What makes it problematic is, yes, there have been, through the history of these prediction markets, very strange things that get huge sums of money that only certain people would have knowledge of right before big news comes out. There's been a lot of stuff when it comes to predicting things in terms of what will a company do, who will be the new CEO, and then shortly before it, like I believe it was there's stuff related to like international affairs where people with knowledge of it will so-and-so bomb this country. And then
will so-and-so still be in office?
Yes. Then hours before something happens, vast amounts of money come in on the correct side of what happened.
Now, again, you can bet on a lot of these things. I mean, they don't have to be sports-related, Chew. I'm looking at the culture page for Kalshi, which, by the way, congratulations on the ad. Congratulations. We're all talking about this. Who will attend the big game? Obviously, yesterday's Super Bowl. Will Jason Kelce attend or will Ben Affleck attend? And you can sit there and you can put money on one of those two things. Well, Jason Kelce and Ben Affleck know if they're going to the big game, right? Yeah. And theoretically, their groups, their friends, their posses, whatever it is, they would also know. So it does feel like these are things that unfortunately are not just like the game yesterday. Will Jackson Smith and Jigba find the end zone? First touchdown, last touchdown, anytime touchdown. These are things that people know. For what it's worth, when we were at Potawatomi yesterday and we were talking to, who was the Austin? Austin came in and chatted with us, who is one of the guys who runs the sportsbook. Chewy, they will not engage in. They will not allow bets that people know the outcomes to. So, for instance, how long is the national anthem? Potawatomi doesn't play that game. What color is the Gatorade in the Gatorade tub? Because somebody knows and therefore could swing the market, affect the market with their knowledge. Do you like that Giannis, who, again, if you want to conspiracy your way through this thing, could have affected the market of will Giannis be traded or not ahead of the trade deadline? Is it problematic at all for you that he's involved in this?
Tread carefully. I actually thought it was the cereal when I read it.
Kashi?
Yeah.
I don't think we'd have a problem with that.
Was.
I'd have some questions about why Giannis is, endorsing that cereal.
Movements.
Yeah.
Want to keep him regular? I don't know, but I don't think it would be much of a talking point if he was endorsing the cereal.
Yeah, this sounds a little tread lightly.
Best case scenario, it's a bad look.
Yeah,
that's the best case scenario, is that it's a bad look, and again, it seems like one of those things that was easily avoided because Giannis also bought in apparently to Chelsea this weekend, the soccer club overseas. So. First of all, dude's got a lot of money. He might have to sign that Supermax on October 1st just to kind of pay for some of these things. Two, but as far as Kalshi goes, it's a bad look. And when things are as shady as they can be on these prediction markets, it just seems like an easy thing for somebody of Giannis' stature to avoid. There are other things to invest your money into, to me, and just avoid this look at all. Honestly, I'm surprised because, again, the NBA and these sports leagues have just dove headfirst into all these other sports books that are, and endorsing a sports book, I understand, may look not great for some athletes, but this is having a piece of it. This is owning a piece. Like, that's even taking it a step further. I'm surprised the NBA allowed it, and apparently it's just, as long as Giannis doesn't, bet on any of the NBA stuff, we're cool with it. It just doesn't sit well with me.
Because at the NFL, you have restrictions on things you cannot be a part of.
It's approval,
which is kind of hypocritical because the league is a part of them, but the players aren't allowed to be. Like alcohol, we could never endorse that. We can't couldn't endorse casinos or any of that type of stuff. So there were restrictions. Like Gabe said, I'm surprised that the NBA allows this.
Well, let me just read some of the criticism/concern that was out there on social media over the weekend. Giannis made up a rumor. This is not me saying this. This is what one of the comments said, so I just want to be clear. Giannis made up a rumor he would leave the Bucks, causing people to bet a total of $23 million as to whether or where he would go on Kalshi, an unregulated gambling insider trading platform. He stays in Milwaukee and comes out today as a Kalshi stakeholder. That's one comment. Another comment from June Lee, who is a journalist, who is a reporter. He has been at ESPN. I'm not sure if he is still with us. A player in massive trade rumors owning part of a prediction market where people can bet on whether he gets traded is a massive, in capital letters, conflict of interest. This is so far beyond players doing sportsbook ads. Mm-hmm. It does feel like there is a swirling level of concern for, to your point, the integrity/optics of this decision.
Look, do I think Giannis made up a trade rumor about himself? I don't. But do I also find it weird that because we're going to hit this again this summer. We talked about this with Giannis. There's going to be trade rumors again. I'm sure there's going to be a market on Kalshi of, is Giannis going to be traded? Where is Giannis going to be traded to? And every time somebody makes one of those bets, Giannis profits as an owner of that place.
This sounds like a government step in and could possibly do something about it.
The problem is Kalshi and these poly markets and all these prediction markets have basically become a form of legalized insider trading. People in the know take advantage of people not in the know. And that's the big thing. Like, I don't believe that I saw the same one you read. I don't believe it's accurate, the first one about him making up the rumor. But the important part here is that you can cast doubt on things like that now. And the timing of being involved in all these trade rumors and all these prediction markets that involved your name and then coming out days later, that's the big issues. It's a eroding of public trust into not only character, but what's truly going on here. Who is pulling the levers behind the scenes that I'm unaware of when these things are knowable that Giannis is like his circles. Call it what you will. I'm not going to accuse his brothers of it, but there's people who know Giannis that could easily know 24 hours beforehand where he's going to end up in the next season, and that could be a big way to make money. And that is not when you're engaging in something and you feel like somebody has an advantage over you, especially when it comes to involving money and making bets of sorts. That's where the issue is.
I think I've told you guys this before. Adam Schefter is obviously an insider for the NFL. He works for ESPN. They reward him handsomely for his connections, for the insight that he provides ESPN. There are also people who are setting the markets. Again, we were at Potawatomi Sportsbook yesterday. There has been interest in those type of insiders like Adam Schefter, et cetera, by those sports books, because they want to know before the public knows. So they wanted a guy, and I'm not using Adam specifically, but they want an insider. They want somebody who knows who is playing, what the situation is, whatever affects your fantasy team on a weekly basis, so that they can set the markets accordingly for these matchups on a day-to-day basis. That's how valuable that inside information is to the gambling scene, not just you setting your fantasy football lineup. So it would stand to reason that similarly, any information that you have ahead of time, because this is unregulated, could be used to either dictate the market, screw the market, or pad your pockets.
We had an issue with this with Goff. Remember in that game where Jared Goff typically doesn't rush for touchdowns? Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of money, I believe, being bet on him.
Yep.
Because someone had to leak the first 15. Because when you script this, you have 5 plays from the 5 from the 10, 5 from the 15, 5 from the 20. So if Jared Goff, a play designed for him, is number 1 from the 5 end, which someone had to leak that because I think there was a bunch of money bet.
Tons of money.
A lot of late money came in.
A lot of late money.
Game. Yeah.
And people that have to the first 15, I mean, trainers, equipment people, security. So anyone could leak that stuff if he's number 1 on the. Yeah. Seems like this along these lines. This does not sound good.
800-990-3776 if you have an opinion on Giannis now being a shareholder of Kalshi, which we were just discussing. Again, the example that I used was who will attend the big game? And your options were Jason Kelce, Ben Affleck. You could obviously pay to bet on one of those things. Well, Jason Kelce also works for ESPN. ESPN had crews there, not just covering the Super Bowl, but also doing the handoff to the ESPN ABC having the Super Bowl next year. That feels like a market that could have easily been manipulated. That feels like, and if Ben Affleck wanted to screw things up, he hops a PJ, heads to the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden, surprise! Guess who's here? If he had his pals bet on, Ben Affleck will be at the big game. You know, like anything that is manipulatable, anything that is controllable feels tough to regulate.
Again, and that's why these poly markets like Kalshi that have popped up over the last handful of years, I'm surprised the NBA allowed him to buy in, because this isn't just him endorsing it. This is him profiting off of, again, as a shareholder, that's how these places, because you're betting peer-to-peer. There's not a house, like Josh, you said. So they take a cut of every bet that is made. So every bet that is made as a shareholder, Giannis profits off those bets.
We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to this morning. Stick around.
Craving big flavor? Then get ready, because Screamin' Sicilian, more toppings, more flavor is amore. And going on just through tomorrow, I took advantage of this weekend. I can't recommend it enough. Right now, Metro Market, pick and save. Screamin' Sicilian, original frozen pizzas. Buy one, get one free. Yep, twice the cheese loaded, topping packed, flavor Screamin' pizza for just the price of one. But hurry. This deal ends February 10th. That's tomorrow. So you've got today, tomorrow to get to Pick and Save in Metro Market and get loaded Screamin' Sicilian original frozen pizzas. Buy one, get one. Through tomorrow, Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Some good news. Things have cleared up on 94 northbound, heading from the south side into downtown. They've pretty much cleared up the crash there beyond Howard Avenue. We are seeing some slowdowns in some other parts of the system. Brown Deer Road to downtown on 43 southbound is going to be a few extra minutes, and also seeing some pretty significant delays on 894 northbound. Hale to the zoo will be about 6 extra minutes there. Traffic is sponsored by Geis Garage Doors. For over 70 years, Geis Garage Doors has been the local trusted name for garage door sales, service, and repair. Visit geisdoors.com and don't think twice. Call Geis. Storm team forecast today, mostly cloudy, a high of 35. Tonight, slight chance of some freezing drizzle, a low of 30. On Tuesday, partly cloudy and mild, a high of 38 degrees. Wednesday, mostly sunny, high 32. Weather brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Steph Graham on 94.5 ESPN.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th, as we will be hosting our second annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by the legendary Home Blow and Bailey Cope. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017truthawards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks, Gruber, Steinhoffel, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 20th at the Truth Community Awards from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do not miss out on the best community awards event of the year.
Hey, y'all. It's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. I spent years on the mound giving everything I had, and now I feel every inning in my knees, back, and shoulders. But I didn't want surgery, and I sure didn't want to be sidelined. That's why I turned to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Christie and his team use regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No surgery, no meds, and no downtime.
Whether you're teeing off at the club or chasing the grandkids around, QC Kinetics helps you get back to doing what you love.
Call QC Kinetics now and schedule your free consultation. Natural joint pain relief with real results.
Don't let the pain slow you down. I didn't, and neither should you. My friends at QC Kinetics, they'll take care of you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Two hearts are interlinked,
intertwined,
permanently connected like two links in a chain.
The perfect symbol of a lifetime commitment.
One of the hearts is silver white.
The other is silver pink.
And each of the hearts is inlaid with tiny little diamonds that glitter like stars on a clear winter night.
The interlinked hearts are hanging on to each other as they dangle on the end of a chain.
Another perfect symbol of having a life partner.
It's not only the perfect symbol of a lifetime commitment, it's an incredibly beautiful diamond pendant.
Just $238.
The Kissing Hearts diamond pendant is part of the Kissing Hearts collection at Kessler's.
Even though it's just $238, it's still one of the most expensive things in the collection.
I'm buying the two-tone Kissing Hearts cross.
The mother and child is spellbinding.
There's a Kissing Hearts ring.
Kissing Hearts earrings.
And 19 other Kissing Hearts pendants.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
A freaking catapult attached to his right hip. Like, I just made that up. A catapult.
That was good.
I kind of liked it. I was rolling with it, Rob.
Like a slingshot? What's the sound?
I'm calling old catapult leg from here on out.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Well, pitchers and catchers report this week to spring training, and we have some breaking news out of the Brewers camp. According to ESPN's Jeff Passan, the Boston Red Sox are acquiring third baseman Caleb Durbin in a trade with the Milwaukee Brewers. Left-hander Kyle Harrison is headlining the three-player package headed to Milwaukee. Gabe, who's the other player who is coming to Milwaukee in addition to Kyle Harrison?
So there's
pitcher?
three players that are coming back to Milwaukee. As you mentioned, Kyle Harrison, who has pitched 42 games in the big leagues. He has made 37 starts. Now, last year for the Red Sox and the Giants, he appeared in 11 games, 6 starts. They are also getting back infielder David Hamilton, who has played for the Red Sox the last couple of years, middle infielder. Again, kind of a guy that would fit in for the Brewers. Not exactly as short, but, speedy, not as much pop. But he's under 6 feet. The Brewers have a type.
I'm looking at a 198 average here going, I know that's not the end-all, be-all, but give me something, David Hamilton. What else?
Yeah, he hit 248 in 2024, and then they got the number 15 prospect in the Red Sox organization, left-handed pitcher Shane Doran. So 3 players in return for Caleb Durbin. So Durbin no longer going to be with the Brewers. Presumably that opens up a spot at third base for who they just acquired in Jet Williams in the trade for Freddie Peralta. So that kind of opens up a spot for him to potentially play. Although I don't know how much experience he has there. He's more played second, short, and outfield in his minor league tenure with the Mets.
Caleb Durbin was a big fan favorite. I know a lot of people who are excited about him. Young talent, probably will continue to grow. 25-year-old finished third in NL Rookie of the Year voting after hitting 256, 334, 387, 11 homers, 18 steals, solid defense, along with cameos at short and second. That according to SI.com. How do you feel about this, Gabe?
I mean, obviously they want more pitchers. I don't know how much.
A 3-for-1 feels good, right?
I don't know how much David Hamilton really improves it. If they wanted somebody else at third base, I guess I was hoping that maybe it would be somebody that has a little bit more pop, so you have some more consistency. Again, the corners, whether it's infield, outfield, is where a lot of the power traditionally comes from. The Brewers, Andrew Fisher is somebody that is, a highly regarded prospect at third base, one of the top-ranked third basemen in all of minor league baseball. I don't think he's ready to come up and play. He's got some pop as their first-round pick from a year ago, but this seems like it's going to be, to me, again, at first thought, okay, you just acquired Jet Williams. This seems like the place he's going to play for the Brewers.
It says Monasterio and Siegler are involved. Is that every single third baseman they have? Sent them all? See ya?
Well, Gabe, the Red Sox did it because they lost Bregman, right?
Yeah, and
so
that's a tough play. You go from a guy like Alex Bregman. No offense to Caleb Durbin.
No, full offense.
But
yeah,
but Bregman's a different caliber player than Caleb Durbin is.
Yeah, according to Will, is it Salmon? How do you pronounce Will's last name? Okay, from The Athletic, Red Sox getting Monasterio. You mentioned the other guys, and a Comp B pick. So maybe it doesn't feel as, because I said 3-1. Oh, you're sending Caleb Durbin, and you're getting a prospect, and you're getting a pitcher, and you're getting an infielder. That feels good, but apparently also giving up these guys as well. Look, we are just days away from spring training. We are going to turn our attention fully to the Brewers as we get closer to opening day. But the Brewers are making moves, right? Like, I think that's the one thing, the one takeaway from it is the Brewers are not standing pat. They are willing to deal. They're willing to continue to try to bolstering this roster. And it looks like, Gabe, we mentioned this. They had so many infielders. We had to know that somebody was going to be on the chopping block. And if you can get arms for it, again, the one thing that we keep talking about with the Brewers is where's the power going to come from? And I know there are people who are like, power isn't just home runs. I get it. But I still think that as they continue to do this, I would like to see them really give some attention to the lineup at some point.
Right now, that's the hardest thing to acquire in baseball, though, is power. It is at such a premium, and you have to grow it. And the Brewers do have a couple of prospects, probably not that are going to be on the 2026 team, probably more in the future. Again, I mentioned Andrew Fisher is one of the best hitters in college baseball when he ended up being the Brewers' first-round draft choice. But I don't think he's ready for the big league roster. Maybe he surprises in spring training. I'm not sure, but it seems like that's where Jet Williams is going to play, and they're going to rely on power from whatever they decide to do platoon-wise at first base between Andrew Vaughn over there and Jake Bowers, and maybe you're hoping that in center field, Garrett Mitchell stays healthy because he's somebody that they think can hit 20 to 25 home runs a year, which would be a boost for that team. You hope that Bryce Terang continues to drive it out of the park, and you get the home run numbers that you had from 2 years ago from our guy William Contreras instead of what he had last year when he was dealing with the thumb injury for the majority of the season. And that's kind of how you get power into that lineup. Just little incremental improvements from all over the roster instead of just one big bat that you're able to acquire in a trade or in free agency.
Yeah, but they're stockpiling assets because there was power rankings that came out ranking the MLB farm systems, and Brewers are one.
Yeah.
One by so if they want to trade, they've got a lot of prospects that they could move once they figure this thing out. I'm fine with it. Just let's figure out how this season goes and then act accordingly.
I do love this is the most consistent Chewy has ever been on this program is. Whatever the Brewers front office is doing, I am on board with.
Hold on, everybody clear out here. We all got to hear something.
Ribbit.
Oh!
Yeah, Toad. No, hold on, Josh. I don't think it's so much a Toad.
It kind of feels like it.
Ribbit.
I just don't like being wrong.
What, and they're the surest bet?
Yeah.
Everybody
I just don't
clear
want to
out.
be wrong.
I want you to... I had no idea what he was going with.
That's pretty good.
Which is weird because I feel like more of a Brewers fan now than I do a Red Sox fan.
Yeah, we got to get Marty to start hooking you up with more gear other than just the, cat water bottle for the cat you don't have.
Yeah. I gave it to Coach. Coach has got a cat.
There you go.
Weird.
Get you a Brewers t-shirt or something to celebrate since, again, as pointed out, you are a Brewer. You are now officially a Brewers
I guess
toad.
I'm a Toad. Yeah. You call me a Toad.
That fight lasted all of 30 seconds.
Because, again, he realized he had no...
Because I don't like to be wrong, Josh.
He had no
If I didn't call myself a Toad, I'd be wrong.
For what it's worth, Chew, I do think there's a lot of people out there that agree with your standpoint, that agree with that sentiment of like, yeah, they've been pretty dang successful. Would we like them to have deeper playoff runs? Yes. Would we like for Atanasio and company to spend more money? Yes. I think the Suarez thing is still hanging out there as well for people who thought, hey, some of that money that you got back from Freddie Peralta, maybe you throw that towards a big bat or at least somebody who can give you power in the lineup. But for the most part, that front office does a hell of a job with the circumstances and the constraints that they have.
Well, and getting these pitchers back, again, maybe one of them ultimately moves to the bullpen, but I think they're just, especially after what they went through last year, and now you don't have Freddie Peralta, who was every fifth or sixth day, he was posting at that number one spot. You knew you had that consistency. Yes, there was some injuries that you had, and some guys stepped up, but I think this is, hey, we got to make sure we're covered from a depth spot, because who knows how you're going to have to pace Brandon Woodruff at the top of that rotation. And you want to protect yourself. Well, now, again, whether or not these guys start on the Major League roster, I'm not sure. But both are starters, at least for the majority of their minor and Major League careers. So this gives you pitching depth in that starting rotation.
Gabe, who's the opening day starter?
My guess is Woody.
You don't think Miz? The Mizinator?
Stop calling him the Mizinator.
It's from all the Lizinators he used.
Or at least was familiar with.
No, I think it's, and the Brewers do open up at home, but I think Brandon Woodruff, especially being the veteran, Chew, as long as he's healthy and good to go, and as much as he is meant to that franchise, I got to imagine Woodruff is going game one, and then Miz will come out for game two.
Okay.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on right after this. Joshy?
Are you looking to make some changes in your life? Looking to shed those pesky extra pounds? There comes a point where you know it's time to do something for yourself. I wanted real goals, real change, and I decided 2026 is the year I look and feel my best. I'm Josh DiMaggio, and I'm starting my journey with Milwaukee Weight Loss. From the first consultation, their team really listened and built a customized plan around me and all my goals. I've lost up to 20 pounds, dropped a pant size already, and it's been less than a month. This Valentine's month, Milwaukee Weight Loss is sharing the love with $300 off during their Valentine's sale, now through February 28th only. This program is different. No intense workouts, no prepackaged meals, no counting calories or points, no drugs, surgeries, or injections. Just a proven metabolic reset. Many patients lose up to a pound of fat a day. Some people lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a month or two. Milwaukee Weight Loss has already helped thousands of people change their lives, and there's no better time than now to take control and start feeling confident again. Schedule a free consultation at 262-235-3980. That's 262-235-3980, or visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Milwaukee Weight Loss, the time is now.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Still some slow spots on the system, but overall things are improving. We are seeing that crash on 94 northbound just beyond Howard Avenue pretty much clear up. Just the right shoulder blocked now due to that crash. And otherwise, across the system, we are seeing some slowdowns if you are traveling on 894 northbound, Hale to the Zoo. Also, 43 southbound is going to be a little bit slow traveling Brown Deer Road to downtown. Traffic is brought to you by Disney on Ice. This weekend at Fiserv Forum, Disney on Ice presents Frozen and Encanto. Buy tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Your storm team forecast today, mostly cloudy, a high of 35 degrees. Tonight, a slight chance of some freezing drizzle to the north, mostly cloudy, a low of 30. Tuesday, partly cloudy and mild, high 38. And on Wednesday, mostly sunny and a high of 32 degrees. Weather brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Another two-man scramble tournament is underway. Play TPC Scottsdale for a shot at cash prizes. Must play by February 28th. Sign up now at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
From a previous vendor to business technology from James Imaging Systems. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having having any big headaches. It's not just all about the money. We're getting value here as well.
Robert Prang, CIO at Tri-City National Bank, likes the fact that James Imaging is local.
So being able to work with a local company like James that has that flexibility with their staff and being able to deliver for us has given us the ability to make the right decisions for our organization.
And Junior Achievement of Wisconsin VP of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, had this advice for others.
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
February means big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Upgrade your home with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath makeover and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings, but only for a limited time during our February winter savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com now. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with their award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Out on the course, they're the PGA Tour's best players. But in the arena, they're prime time. And Season 2 of TGL presented by SoFi is back with lights, cameras, action. We're talking big moments, big personalities, big names in the stands, all on the big screen. Big-time matchups with shot clocks, hammer drops, timeouts, overtime, and playoffs. It's city versus city, squad versus squad. The sport just hits different under the lights. It's TGL presented by SoFi. Keep up. It's golf. Tune into every match. Only on ESPN.
Ben Brust here for the Princeton Club. If you're looking for your better tomorrow, you know where to go. It's the Princeton Club. If you're looking to grow, it's also the Princeton Club, because they will cheer for you in all areas of your life. The best way to do that is to start a foundation of having a healthy body, and your growth will start from there. With the cleanest health clubs in Wisconsin, they provide everything for you to reach your goals. Start your better tomorrow today and grow in all areas of your life at the Princeton Club. Join for a better tomorrow.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You can answer the question.
What's the question?
Can the Packers win without Aaron Jones on Sunday?
Yes. Will you stop? You know what he is? He's like the little devil on the shoulder.
On 94.5 ESPN.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes, no more, no less. It's Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, you can listen to Bucks in 6. Hear the high-flying dunks or the deep threes. Catch the comments post-game about what happened. Bucks in 6 is on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. We asked you earlier this morning if you felt the Green Bay Packers could have won the Super Bowl had they beaten the Bears, beaten the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game, and then gone up against that version of the New England Patriots. I said a healthy Micah Parsons and a healthy Tucker Kraft. Gabe threw in a healthy Zach Tom, and I think this team would have been in the Super Bowl, and we were looking very differently at the organization. Joshy disagrees. He thinks Matt LaFleur is going to be the reason this team never makes a Super Bowl. Where do you stand? Chewy, as we go through this, I think we all agree that Jordan Love had a pretty good season. Jordan Love was really good, and that is with the patchwork offensive line that the Packers put in front of him. Do you see him continuing to grow? Do you see him taking even another step in his development? Because right now he has the 9th best MVP odds, and I know it's very early and people laugh at these early projections, but what do you see Jordan Love looking like in 2027? 2026, geez, let's not get so ahead of ourselves. 2027 is when the Super Bowl would be played that we are discussing.
I would anticipate him being as good. Whether he's better, we don't know. But they have to. It's almost like Goody and LaFleur have to get on the same page. because Goody made the moves on the offensive line, I believe, because he wanted to run the ball a little more effectively. Well, that blew up in his face. But now we see that, you know what? Give the reins to Jordan. Let's be a pass-first team, run second. So they kind of have to get onto the same page. In a perfect world, what I would do, or what I would have done, I would have left Elton Jenkins at left guard, never signed Banks. I would still, Gabe, if there's cap relief by cutting Banks,
there's only $800,000.
Yeah, it's more likely to find a restructure.
Well, then they screwed up.
Yeah,
you screwed up, but just get on the same page. I think Jordan's at his career where this should be a pass-first team. Would you guys agree? And secondary run.
Yeah, especially with the weapons that they have at wide receiver, especially with Tucker Kraft. I think, yes, you want to be a pass-first offense, and you can balance that out and still be a good running football team the way they have been in the past. But one of the Packers' online contingent, one of their favorite things that they like to do is compare Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love through their first 3 years. If those are going to continue, Jordan Love does have to take a pretty big step forward. Because in year 4, that's when those guys, their numbers, their careers took off. That's when they became MVPs. And that's when, again, Brett won 3 in a row. Aaron ended up winning 4. That's when year 4 is when they, as a starter, is when they took their careers to the, undeniably one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You're just up in that tier. So if Jordan Love wants to keep on pace with those guys, that's the final step that he has to take.
Is it possible, though, Gabe, and I worry about that as a metric, the old MVP. And I know that it matters, obviously, in the grand scheme of legacy and whatnot. But it's like I tell my daughter when she goes to her gymnastics meets. She can only be as good as she can be. The competition around her changes from meet to meet, week to week. So if her goal is to finish in first place every week, that's going to be a tall task. Is there anything about the competition at quarterback in the league has grown significantly? There is more great quarterbacks in the league than maybe there were when Favre was winning the MVPs, than maybe even there were when, and again, I recognize that Rodgers was more recent and whatnot, but I don't know if I can make the metric be if you win an MVP.
It's not winning an MVP. It's having those type of numbers.
Okay.
Right? Because everybody likes to, look at the records, look at the yards, look at all these are similar. And then Brett set the NFC record for touchdown passes in a season in 1995. He broke it then the following year. Aaron Rodgers threw 45 touchdown passes in his 4th year. So if you want to keep comparing numbers, he's got to take a pretty big step forward in terms of those numbers. He's got to take that next step. Because right now, Jordan Love is a really good quarterback. If we're talking about the things we are, he needs to take that next step. Year 4 was when those two guys took that step. So there still, to me, is room to grow for Jordan Love.
And he has the supporting cast to do it.
Yes.
Maybe not 2 years ago because these guys were young and they were still figuring it out. But now, you have the supporting cast to help you put up those numbers.
Chew, I don't think it's a coincidence, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it's a coincidence that Brett Favre won the MVP in 1995 and you had a career year in 1995. You were ready to grow with him. You were ready to take that step forward as well.
Yeah. And these we talk about the receivers, but they're good. Christian Watson, let's not forget, he was coming back from an ACL, so he started a little slower. Next year, you would think that he's your guy, right? I'm not saying he's going to be a top 5 receiver, but he could certainly be a maybe back into top 10, top 12.
Yeah, which is something really, because this receiver, you want to talk about competition at positions. This league is stacked with really good wide receivers. Yeah. And if Watson gets to that point, this offense is going to be humming.
And again, this is all dependent on an offensive line that can protect Jordan, an offensive line that performs much better than this year's offensive line did at the end of the season. But Gabe, you mentioned the comp. First 3 years of each of the gentlemen's careers, and Jordan is right there with the numbers. Look, who's your guy? Is it Favre? Is it Rodgers? Is it Jordan Love? Rodgers had an 86-31 touchdown to interception ratio in his first 3 seasons. 86-31. Jordan is 80-28, right? So Rodgers threw 6 more touchdowns, but Jordan has thrown 3 fewer interceptions. And again, some of the other numbers are a little bit off. Rodgers had significantly more yards, more than 12,000 to Jordan's 10,000, although he's creeping up on the 11. What number are you most interested in there? Is it the completion percentage? Because those are all nearly identical. 64.6 for Rodgers compared to 64.5 for Jordan.
Yeah.
And I don't know if when people think of Jordan Love, they see that his first 3 years have been so similar to Rodgers' first 3 years.
Yeah, but again, that's when Aaron hit the NOS. He hit the afterburners in year 4, because then he completed 68% of his passes, had over 4,600 yards, 45 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions in just 15 games. Like he hit another level in year 4. And again, I'm not saying that Love has to replicate those, but those two guys, the two predecessors, took a significant step forward. And maybe you do want to bet Jordan Love, and you like those odds at MVP if you want to follow the symmetry of the two guys that came before him. But that's the room for him to grow. Like, there still is one more step forward, I think, for Jordan Love to take, as evidenced by the two guys before him.
800-990-3776. Let us know what you think regarding Jordan Love. We watched Sam Darnold last night. You watched Drake May last night. Heck, Drake May was in the conversation for MVP, which ultimately went to Matthew Stafford. But Jordan Love had a very, very good season, and we just were comping him to Rodgers and comping him to Favre in the first 3 years. What would it take for Love to actually win an MVP in the league? Gabe, before we go, what would it take?
Whoa, first of all, you letting me go?
No.
We can. No. We're done?
It was almost like if I had Craig on the line, or if I had Rob Domofsky on the line.
Sorry,
before we let you go.
Chewy, I'm out. You can answer the question. Jen just let me go. So I'm out for the day.
See you, Gabe.
Cutting out early.
What would it take?
Next year it will be tougher. It'll be tougher.
Win the division. First and foremost, you got to win the division.
Yeah.
I mean, again, this was the first year in forever that a top 2 seed didn't win the MVP with Matthew Stafford. You know, almost kind of like a career achievement award, it felt like, for him this year. But the Packers have to be one of the 2 best teams in the NFC. And when that if that happens, it's because Jordan's playing at an incredibly high level.
But it's going to be a tougher path because, I mean, look at all the quarterbacks that were out this past year.
There'll be more next year.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, who knows when Mahomes comes back?
Yeah.
Because he tore his AC. I mean, it seems like it was a pretty devastating knee injury. A lot of things wrong with that.
It just seems like the state of the league. The quarterback there's going to be several every year moving forward.
Well, and the point that Gabe made earlier in the show about the division and how, if Minnesota gets a competent quarterback, if Detroit has a better offensive coordinator, if the Bears continue to take steps forward, this division only gets tougher and tougher. And where do the Packers end up when it's all said and done? 800-990-3776. Talking about the quarterbacks in the Super Bowl last night and where Jordan Love stacks up. Because I got to tell you guys, I watched Jordan Love for the majority of this season. I think he's better than both of those guys. And I don't think that that's like breaking any news, right? But again, Drake May was an MVP finalist on that Patriots team. Did Drake May look like an MVP player last night? Sure didn't. Sure did not. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Roll on right after this.
Tired of always waking up exhausted? Dad bod starting to weigh on you? Finding it harder to get excited about basically anything? If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, it might not just be that you're getting older, and that's something I used to tell myself. But there's a good chance your hormones and metabolism are just out of balance. So this new year, let's get back to the old you. I know you remember that guy, the one that was sharp at work, full of energy, fun, the one that people enjoyed being around. And that's where mentality comes in. I've used mentality for years. I love the results I've gotten. And because I've been there for years, I can tell you that it's not some macho, low-T bro clinic. No, they are human-centered at Mentality. Their mission is to figure out what's really going on in your body and your brain. Mentality starts by listening. They'll run real labs, explain your results in plain English, then build a personalized, this is my favorite part, I'd say personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and FDA-approved peptide treatments to help get your brain and body back on track. So stop telling yourself and everyone around you that you're fine, because you can be better. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250 right out of the gate. Reclaim the old you, the younger you, with Mentality.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Half of American parents cannot afford diapers. Hi, this is WTMJ's Kristen Bry. This spring, WTMJ and the Milwaukee Diaper Mission are teaming up to change that. Join me for WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies, where we will raise funds for Milwaukee Diaper Mission. Register to bowl with us on March 7th at Village Bowl in Menominee Falls. Registration is now open. Go to WTMJcares.com to sign up. Act quickly, teams will fill up fast. It's WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies to help the Milwaukee Diaper Mission.
From 30 for 30 Podcasts.
Did you say someone got shot?
Brian Pata, senior defensive lineman from Miami, gunned down.
The key to this case, it's Brian.
An hour before he died, he was on the phone arguing with somebody.
This might be a hit.
You want the truth. They just want a conviction.
Being placed under arrest.
We had a killer amongst us. Murder at the U, coming soon.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HAWK to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HAWK to 321-321. That's HAWK to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
With your Saganiac Planning Marquette recap, I'm Will Summers. The Golden Eagles celebrated National Marquette Day on Saturday with a 70-55 win over Butler. 4 out of 5 starters finished in double figures, led by senior Chase Ross, who finished with 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Chase Ross, he'll try a 3. Good! Chase Ross, he's doing his.
Ross knocking down some threes.
That's right.
It's a rather quick turnaround for Marquette as they will go on the road to take on Villanova on Tuesday.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans, for your game day compatriots and your personal cheerleaders, for all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call Eric Pearson. Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
There's a lot of sodas now that are prebiotic sodas.
They
as
don't
well.
work. They're called poop.
What?
No, they're really called poop, I think. You buy them on Amazon.
I thought you were going to stop talking.
You got a lot of rust in you. You know that?
On 94.5 ESPN.
Big announcement here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We have a winner from our Superb Owl Squares contest over the weekend. And again, last week, people played trivia with us. Superb Owl trivia, of course. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people on our big board for the big game. Gabe, drum roll.
Greg in Germantown was the big winner. getting some great prizes from PCI, our guy from Hembo, and of course a hoodie from
Great
us.
prizes from PCI, right? You've got that virtual interior design consultation. You got a $100 gift card from the Home Depot, that courtesy of our friends over at PCI. Our friend Paul Hembakidis, Hembo, as you know him from Get Up, he is throwing in an autographed copy of his and Greenie's book, Got Your Legends, and we are throwing in a Jen, Gabe, and Chewy sweatshirt as well. Congratulations to our big winner. You said Greg?
Greg. Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, Greg. Hey, Chewy, I heard that you, you know what? Never mind. We'll tell him off the air. How's that sound, Joshy?
Yep.
Am I in trouble?
Tiny bit. Wildy and Tosh is next on ESPN Milwaukee.
Overall, things have cleared up pretty nicely across the system, only seeing a couple slight